Well, just before Festus brings the word to us this morning, over the last number of months, we've been giving every so often some updates on tools for discipleship, things that we can take away to take steps further in our discipled walk with Christ. And I'm thrilled to have Paul and Tim and Capel with me today. We're going to talk about another spoke on the wheel that we've been demonstrating. So, Paul, over to you.
Thanks very much. Well, hopefully we can have a reminder of the illustration we're using to think about our discipleship walk with Jesus. And, so I think on people's, on your seats, you've got a picture of the wheel. And we talked about the importance of Christ being the center. And we've got the spokes of the word, prayer, fellowship, and witnessing. And the rim is us working that out in our everyday lives. So today we're going to talk about fellowship. And I think, oh great, thank you, God, that's brilliant. So we're going to talk about 5 spaces which God uses in fellowship to help us in our Christian walk. So the first one is the public space. And this is where we all are here today, and anyone's welcome, but it's a brilliant opportunity for us to be inspired through the worship, through teaching, and have that sense of purpose. I think the second space that we can use is what's called the social space, where there's a smaller group of people, and in Alive, that could be the live prayer, it could be also the young adults and Alpha, where there's a better sense of community, whereby you would meet same people each week, get to know them, and there's a purpose and a direction for it. That space also provides an opportunity for you to use your gifts in a smaller context and to see where God's leading you to develop those gifts more. The next space is the personal space. I know that many of you are in life groups. And life groups are just a brilliant way for where we can draw close to each other, get to know one another, share our stories, but to be encouraged and also to be challenged. The fourth space is the transparent space. And here this is where we can get with friendships become deeper and we can be more open and honest with each other to share some of the challenges we face in our Christian life and how we can support each other in that. And then the fifth space is our divine space, our time alone with God, where we're reminded of who we are, our destiny, and our truth in Him. Now, some of you might say, well, how come the divine space, where there's only one person, is that really fellowship? But a bit like Christ being at the center of the hub of the wheel, Christ needs to be at the base that supports all these other fellowships. And by having Him at the center, then we go into those other spaces with an attitude of wanting to love and wanting to give. You could easily go into them with your own ego, trying to build up your own ego, but it's very much wanting to love and to build other people up. Over the last 2 to 3 years, I've had the privilege of getting alongside Tim and Capel in this transparent space. And so I've just asked them to say a few words of how that space has helped them in their discipleship. So Tim, you've got the mic.
Got the mic. Yeah. I'm starting.
You start, yeah.
I just want to say that we've been so blessed to have Paul, who's been able to direct us in this group that we have, the group of us 3. And really, really blessed to be able to have that time. I'm part of a life group. My wife Sandra and I run a life group, and the life group is really, really good. But us blokes aren't very good at sharing sometimes, and to have a group of us 3 who can get together regularly every 4 to 6 weeks or so, and have time together, I've found has been a real blessing. And I think we've got really close, and we're able to share some really deep stuff, which has been a true blessing for me. it sort of evolved into a Christian-type book club, so we have various books that we read through and discuss. And I've found that I've been able to evolve a spiritual toolbox. Not everything we discuss is fitting for me in my season of my life. However, being able to discuss these things with Paul and Capel, I've been able to make this spiritual toolbox and been able to put things away that I know I'll be able to use later, or I may well be able to use to benefit other people as well as myself, obviously. So I'm just very thankful for Paul and for Capel and what we're able to do in our little group.
Okay, thanks. Capel, safe.
I think just to add to what Tim had to say, so the book club definitely has been amazing, but also on a personal front, for myself, I sort of committed my life to God when I was 16. Feels like yesterday to me, but it unfortunately was years and years ago now. And along the way, along the journey, one of my desire in my heart was to read the Bible from the start to the finish. And I can remember multiple times starting off at Genesis and then sort of reaching the graveyard of Leviticus and Numbers and giving up. And unfortunately for me, it was genuinely a sort of a source of great regret and shame almost that I could never really commit. And then over the last few years, I just stopped. But then Paul talked about being transparent. And then last year, I sort of said to Paul, I really want to do this. And could I be accountable to you in my journey of reading the Bible right from the start to the finish? And it's been an amazing journey. I've reached Romans already, so I've sort of made great progress that way. And I'm not going to say it's been easy. It has been sort of hard work, but just sort of being able to do it that way, I think spiritually it's been a great exercise of discipline and sort of hanging in there at times when you're really wondering, you're really just hanging in there for the sake of hanging in there, and then suddenly you get something amazing out of it as well. So I'm so grateful for that, because I feel like I'm in a different place now to what I was before I started, and I don't think I would have got so far without a little extra help. And that's what I've realized at times. There's no shame in asking for help and being transparent, being open to somebody close to you and saying, can you stay with me along the journey? So that's what you did, Paul. And if I may just say, it doesn't just happen like that. To honor you, Paul, it's been years. I've known you 17 years now, and you have sort of invested time, effort, everything in building up that relationship, which is why I could be open to you. So I think that's a call on each one of us to be that sort of a person to somebody else as well. So thank you.
Right. Thank you. So as we perhaps put up the last slide, just to recap, there's those 5 spaces. And a question at the bottom is, how could you start to utilize the spaces that you're not currently attending? And you can see on all those spaces, they all give a different quality and a different opportunity in our discipleship journey. And so, for closeness and that, you want to become part of a life group. For inspiration, to come along on Sunday. So all of these spaces have a valid part in our discipleship.
Paul, thank you so much. Tim and Capel, thank you so much for your input this morning. Bless you. Bless you.